exactly where to look. 15 HP, tagged down, and not a lot of time. Spike not going to be able to reach the site. And Zamu, 3K to open it up out of the chamber, on their way to tour de force already.
Yeah, getting that start on lockdown, I think, as well. I mean, we were talking about the space taken over towards Mound early on. It's not just that space. It's getting out with not just a frag, but their life, staying alive, and allowing that later on impact to be felt. With that said, Trent not in too bad of spot considering the start to that round. They should be on a bit of an eco coming into this one. Okay. And they'll be grouped up outside of tree.
We'll take their sight set towards A, but it's Zamu again with the Marshall. Gets away with the rendezvous, but a lot of damage taken from Trent early on into this round. Zamu looking to solo it. Goes back in with this Marshall, just barely whiffing. Actually, a tag onto Gaming Power, but it'll be good to avoid the utility. Finally, going to be dropped, and that chamber, you have to call for these reinforcements who have already rotated out.
Cutting the space, though, making life a little bit more difficult, but well, that collapse essentially will seal the deal, and Meow will pick up just 3K on the anti-eco. The Hawks didn't necessarily have a lot of positioning over towards A early on, but Zomu found the opening pick and got all the information and can call for the cavalry to arrive.
So on to this round. Looking to see if Trent can maybe pull a little bit more value off of these opening contact duels. Zamu has been dominating so far at the beginning of these rounds, Vincent, and they need to figure out a way to avoid that.
Well, for now, Trent just trying to keep it slow. Not taking too much space anywhere, actually. They're playing a bit too scared, to be honest, but they are starting to get out of their own spawn. Taking a couple of shots forward, though. Defense. Fly has made their way to rubble, but they know about it. At least Zamu does. Take a shot and then fall back away. Less HP to work with as well.
It's going to go down, so that's your forward pressure from A gone. Now that Zamu has rendezvoused away from this one, Beat Rash is going to re-clear, make sure that Zamu isn't hiding anywhere, but Trex is making his way through mid. A little bit of a lurk play. Myth Lunar, the timing just a tad bit off, but it is going to pay off. We will be able to flank this one, and Zamu's still tearing things up. Has rotated towards the back of sight. Finds one with the Marshall, a second. With his Headhunter. Spike goes down, and now it's down into a 2 versus 3. Now a 1 versus 3. All up to Glitch with the Vandal at the ready. Swings are out. Good for 1. Pops the Swarm on site. And the rest looking to trade it. They swing together. They get it done, and that's a 3-0 start for HCC.
The Hawks making sure to stick together there. It's so important. If you allow yourself to just get staggered a little bit, right? All you need to be is just a step behind, and that gives the opportunity over to the player to 1v3, maybe on the other side, who Glitch was doing a valiant effort on all fairness. But you already mentioned it. Zamu was very quick to get started to that tour de force. Already has it available. I don't know if we're going to really see that in this round, considering the expectations for Trent are going to be low. The fact they just made the investment last time out, and they shouldn't have as much into this next round. But currently, Trent stacking up outside of B in the pillars at the moment. If they can just get onto the site, get a spike down, I'd call this a pretty good round, especially if you can get into the post play.
Don't worry about Yoko. Hilo's going to jump up. And through the smoke, oh my goodness, Nose Fly is there, but just tapping away the Aftershock. Going to push him out into the open. Yoko still with 3, just collecting kills in this round, padding those stats, Vincent and Trent. I mean, you were hoping to get a spike down, but they didn't even get to see the site.
I mean, hey, to be fair, they were running into a buzzsaw meat grinder of sorts. Not much you can do about that is, oh my goodness, the Hawks are running them down. I let them fly, had just no chance. No chance at all. It was 3 bodies swinging them. Not even one by one, all together at the same time. It's a tough situation to contend with. There's actually as well, just to kind of go back to the point we were making on the agent select screen, right? with Yoko and Meow Meow, there's a lot of utility. A lot of utility to try and get through when it comes to denying space, denying sight lines here for this defense. So the Hawks have a lot that they can work with. I think that at the moment, Trent finding some difficulties there and, well, all over the place.
Ops out for Zamu. Goes back in. This is the second shot, but the rendezvous is going to get him out of the danger and back onto site. Doesn't want to let them walk just yet. Back in for the third shot. It's going to be 2 down already before they get a chance at their hands. 4C still the execute starting to rain down for Trent. Gaming Power is going to take some height. Phantom in hand, back out. Lich actually finds a kill on the leg, and suddenly this round has turned with the revolving door. It's opened up an opportunity to possibly rotate.
Gotta be careful if you're the Hawks not to get overzealous, which I think they do right there, trying to take the fight over to Trent, and instead they find themselves down a couple of players and in a bit of a rougher spot. Heat Rash will also evacuate, though they're the ones to stick around the most part. That has kept, at least initially, kept a couple of the Hawks hanging out at sea, but
30 seconds left.
Trash goes around the corner. East site will be the destination, both the attackers and for Myth, who's already here calling in the backup from this chamber.
Myth is going to keep this even in a 2v2. Beat Rash actually finds the lurk, like you say, and this is a real good chance for Trent to finally put a round on the board. A flank from Yoko, very disconnected from Myth Lunar. Has to be careful not to give up his life, but the door's going to open and Myth spots an opportunity. Yoko, who's played so patiently on this flank, has a chance to put it away, and they will. HCC Hawks, a fantastic retake on a kind of scary round, Vincent.
A good example of a round where I think Trent did the right things. They adjusted well. Their move back over to A was the right call, and unfortunately, just some individuals, as you mentioned, the Hawks very separated, didn't really have a way to trade each other, but they both win the fight, and therefore they come away successful, keeping things going. And this is a little bit of a difficult buying decision for Trent. You can see them starting to full invest and then going back from it, instead getting out what they can, which isn't bad. Looking at Bulldog, there's also a couple of SMGs. All of those things can be effective, especially the Bulldog at this range.
Right there.
If they get in towards the tree room, that SMG can be just as good.
Off your feet!
Rolling Thunder from Trent's going to look to see if you can up the pacing onto A. They've already breached into trees, and Myth is going to hear this one. Wingman hoping to disrupt. It distracts them long enough for Myth to get their gun up and find that first blood. Does get traded from Gaming Power with the Spectre, but it won't last for too long, Vincent. Now Trent have found themselves stuck in the mud, trapped in the situation. The rotation's already here for HCC, and Zamu with this op just look to find a couple more who are lagging behind, and Glitch may give him this opportunity, but Zamu does look away from it.
Trent are being really patient at the moment, but the problem is that Zomu isn't going anywhere. And the spike was spotted at one point, though that was a long while ago.
30 seconds
I think
left.
Trent, on paper, them waiting this out should spread the defense back out, and it has to a certain extent, but there's still players aggressive in these areas. And with 20 seconds left, there's now no more questions. There's only the go button.
Headhunter, let them fly. Doesn't even give him a chance here. Looking the wrong way. Zamu easily able to clip that wing leg. Finds the better of Trexta, and Zamu's going to get another 3K to bring HCC to 6-0. Yet to drop a round on Lotus. And they look like they're very comfortable here.
And it is going to be the Trent timeout taken.
So I can't, I guess, compare. It's not a fair comparison.
Yeah. They are made of pixels, and you are not.
Unless an Outlaw comes out from I Let Them Fly. Haven't seen too much Outlaw get used within collegiate esports. I don't think I've had the chance. Not a lot of people, I guess, opting for it, but I'm excited. Zamu's going to opt to get aggressive right on through. No way.
What is this?
Gets back out. I don't even think Trent expected that.
I'm so floored. I don't know what Zamu was looking for there. Pulled back the rendezvous as well. And honestly, the biggest thing is lucky to be alive. Shouldn't
Very
be alive.
lucky.
Contact made over at A. Yamiao going to be calling at least for a little bit of additional coverage in this direction.
She is being extra careful now that you know that Outlaw is out. The paranoia. Not going to be able to gain any ground with that Nebula, but extra smoke just to rotate back onto site, see if you can secure it. Does seem like this is going to be the end game of Trent's plan, but the spike is still leaning to A, so this is actually going to be a split to B, Vincent.
Based on the, tons of utility that you just saw coming out from the Hawks at A, this is understandable for Trent.
30 seconds
Trying to make
left.
that adjustment, but they're just going to go in. This isn't even the site fully taken.
And look at this aggression from Beat Rash. She's going to set up on a one-way, and they don't check it, so hiding away in the dark cover,
planted.
finding not one, but a double kill to back the HCC away from this site. They get the spike down in a 5v2 post plant. So many different lines of contact onto this spike as well. It isn't going to be easy for HCC to unravel this, but they get the first 2 steps done. Zamu and Yoku going to bring this back into a 2 versus 3. Zamu going to be watching Heaven with this operator in hand, but it's the players from Link that I'm worried about, and Zamu's just going to jump it. Trex, she jumps out, spots it. Breet Rash is going to get rid of this operator, and Yoko now all alone in a 1v3. Not going to get anything more than the one on to let them fly. Finally, with Beat Rash grabbing a 4K. It's going to be a round for Trent Excalibur.
Let's go.
And Beat Rush just fully unchecked there in the corner. Snuck into position, and to be honest, the Hawks getting a bit too far forward initially, right? They didn't even lose the site, technically, before they were trying to go for the retake, and that disjointedness for the retake, I think, really hurt them. Had only 2 players coming through. Beat Rash unchecked, picked them both up, and delivered there towards the back end of the round as well. A crazy round considering the start that it was with Zamu heading forward. They are in a different position this time out towards A, where shot goes forward, but nothing connects.
The Trent get 1 round, Vincent. And they actually do it in a very convincing manner. You know, they lose a couple of lives, but getting that spike down and putting themselves in a winnable situation, getting to that step, they're making a lot of right calls.
They are, yeah. It is just a matter of getting into those post plants and finding a way to deliver. Zamu,
And trading.
great shot.
Right there.
Yeah, the trade. And it's Beat Rash once again, doing some very good work.
Right there.
She seems to be coming alive on Lotus. Better late than never for Trent Excalibur and Wingman.
Dizzy's up top.
Going to look to give some space for Leg to work their way back on, but I think
30
just
seconds
yet
left.
for when it comes to spacing from the shadows all the way from C back to A to get the spike down in a post plant as a 4v4. Leg's going to be the first one in.
I was expecting to see the lockdown come through, but that's not been invested.
I like this
Put up the
call.
Cosmic Divide as well.
Gonna block off the players from Tree, put Trex in a really bit of a one and done. Spike's gonna be jumped on by Leg, running through his Beat Rash. Myth gonna trade it out into 2 versus 2. This is getting scrappy in the lockdown now from Trent.
One
Myth
enemy remaining.
has to decide, do you go for it?
Oh, there's not
or
enough
do you
time.
stop? And I don't know if they're going to be able to get this defuse. It doesn't look like they're able to jump the defuse right away, and before the lockdown actually detains them. HCC kind of steal it right from out of them. A couple ults used in it, but that's a big round for HCC.
Yeah, just a little bit off when it comes to Trent on understanding when the spike was tapped and the time left on Glitch and that lockdown. Just a little bit of a confusing one there. Clear that Glitch thought that the lockdown would deny the defuse, but the timing wasn't there. And so the Hawks will walk away with another one. There is something interesting though that I've been seeing with these Hawks is that the way they're layering smokes is a little odd. Like, they have so much smoke utility, but sometimes they're like doubling up on it, especially out here towards A. I'm a little confused at what the plan is. It's kind of created some question marks.
Spike
Well,
down.
if they don't know, or if you don't know and they don't know, I guess Trent wouldn't know either.
It's true. Or maybe they're just geniuses and they do know. Ever thought of that?
Maybe they're just laying out the red carpet of smokes for them to walk through.
More like a dark carpet.
Revolving door for Zamu, looking to get an angle with this tour de force, and he will. Zamu goes back in for two, but the shot from Trek, she removes the head of the chamber with the Marshall. It is a trade back, but still a deficit for Trent to fight from.
I think that they're staying grouped up, though, and everybody sort of collapsed towards B when that first kill came in. The rotation towards C, though. Myth is the only one to do it.
One enemy
Aiming,
remaining.
gonna hop this spike right away, not knowing that Yoku has an angle, and without needing Myth right at the start, Trex is gonna be a little distracted for the swing from the jet, and HCC still look like they are in full control. Let's talk about a couple of these players, Vincent. I mean, Zamu, 17-6, incredible for these first bloods. But Yoku and Myth during the mid-round to late, they have been so good on these, even needed retakes.
Yeah, I think Myth, especially when it comes to those later rotations, is in the right spot at the right time. And it has been Myth more than Yoku, but whenever Yoku has been asked to step up, getting into those positions, they are doing exactly that. Somu, speaking of, has been really dynamic anywhere and everywhere this player has been.
Zamu, another first blood to add to the tally of this game. Countless so far within these 9 rounds. In round 10, it seems like B's on the menu for Trent Excalibur. They just continue to get shut out by the double controller. And take a look at this. Trex has actually found some timing to see it. They don't know that Yoku's back here, but Trex is going to get an angle, and that timing pays off. Now the spike ready to get planted.
There's a Rolling Thunder set, ready potentially to play against this retake.
Smoke is off. What is this?
Spike planted.
Just a little bit off, but I mean, I guess it isn't going to matter in the long run. And also, they've just left this chamber so alone. Trex is entirely cut off from the rest of their team. That's unfortunate because now everybody else is in a tough spot. Rolling Thunder will stall things out, but there's still plenty of time.
That time is quickly running away. In the smoke, Gaming Power able to get an angle there onto Myth. Walks on through, and Zamu watching like a hawk leg. Gonna hop this defuse now, and it's all down to one. Beat Rash has to step up, and they do. The Spike Diffuser gets killed. Is there time? Zamu has to run for it. And no, there's not. Again, it's Beat Rash doing just enough to win the round for her team. A clutch at the end, killing the Spike Diffuser. Zamu doesn't even have a chance after that.
And it all comes down to that flashpoint that comes through, entirely, fully blinding Zamu. Had no chance of taking that shot. And that's what allows the isolation of those first couple of shots for Beat Rash to go all the way forward and find success. 2 rounds won, and you could really say Beat Rash was the one to win them for Trent. Problem is, how much can we expect that to continue? Well, the Trexta finding an opening engagement, lag going down, maybe we can.
Maybe they can do it. Now, staring towards the end of this half, hoping for an 8-4. Trent Excalibur looking to do it again here with a tour de force. Everybody's grouped up at B. Meow Meow has to run away, but gonna catch I Let Them Fly out of the air, who just hasn't been able to catch a break in the TP. Meow Meow reaggresses in the gravity well. Beat Rash standing still, able to still get one before dropping. And Trex is actually putting in some work here with this tour de force. It's a 2v1 Myth. I think they know exactly where this jet is. You'd think with the way that Trex is playing it, but the spike has yet to go down, and Myth now gonna go on in, and Trex gets 4. The tour de force pays off. Another round to Trent Excalibur.
Last round before the switch.
Hey, if everybody can start picking up quads every round, doesn't matter who it is, Trent will continue finding success. That's 2 in a row. Mute Rash doing the damage last time out, but Trex, opening pick, finds the trades and was just in the right space to make that happen. Even that last shot, just a great adjustment. Looked like maybe Myth could have had that one on lockdown, but no. And the Hawks, well, they're starting to run out of money, I'm noticing. Not only that, they're only with a single ult left.
Zamu started to turn around at the end of this half. Thrash getting his first show so far, but it's just going to stall things out. Doesn't actually want to leap through it, and I don't mind that. It buys time for the rotations to come out for the rest of the team, Vincent.
I think I'm on the same page, right? Just give it a moment. Allow for everybody to get back. Well, it's not going to be a problem, though. At least not for Trent. They will just TP right all the way over to A. Now, Myth knows. Myth has heard and is about to be able to see, but by the time Myth gets there, honestly, they just need to hang out and wait.
They do. They still have a Thrash. The showstopper now for I Let Them Fly. He lets it fly right over towards Myth Lunar now. 3K, 4K, playing for the ace. Lag the only one standing between this round, between this half. Being cut down to size by Trent Excalibur. I Let Them Fly for the ace. Swings out leg. Oh, the denial of the ace. But Trex is there to still put the nail in the coffin for the half. 8-4 we sit. HCC Hawks. A considerable lead, I will say, but more manageable than what it could have been.
Massive resurgence. I mean, Trent, I mean, I said somewhat in jest. Well, you know, if Butte Rash can find a 4K every time, then great. Well, it wasn't quite just Butte Rash, but it was a 4K every single time there. Those last 3 rounds, everybody having a moment to step up and show what they're made of. Let Them Fly, Trexta, and Butte Rash putting Trent Excalibur Blue right back in this game. As dominant as Zomu has been, hey, 8-4, as you mentioned, it's an approachable position to work from.
All starts with this pistol. Actually, the fault line doesn't go far enough to actually make Let Them Fly too worry of this. Swats the cross as well. Now with the Sheriff trying to fish for a kill. Will Myth Lunar going to fall at this one, and the help from Beat Rash has been exceptional out of Trent Excalibur. This team has not let go of those 3 rounds that they found towards the end of the half, and they get this pistol. I mean, they can start their full comeback.
And I'm a little bit floored. I think that the Hawks have maybe got a bit too ahead of themselves, at least initially. They are being caught off this flank from Trex, entirely unaware we're the Hawks. Like you mentioned, 8-4, it's a good lead, but I think it can really sneak up on you how quickly that lead evaporates.
Yeah, and you look at the scoreboard too. Is Zamu getting shut down these past couple of rounds, not having as much of an early, or having as much early success as we did see at the start of Lotus? Maybe that is the issue right now for HCC Hawks, but Zamu's been doing so much. You got to look to somebody else right now. See if they can start to activate and leg with 2 kills across this one. Maybe need to start to pick things up, but Zamu's going to open up the round with yet another first blood. Looks like they just want to rush this at C. Gaming Power here with the Paranoia ready.
Might have it ready, but not going to utilize it. Just trying to keep the gun out, and maybe needed to up that forward in order to delay the push that the Hawks are putting together.
It's a fast flank coming out, Vincent. Beat Rash is going to be able to close this distance with a Bulldog.
This is make or break for the round. That's fantastic, though.
Gimme turret. To bring a kill back. Zamu has been displaced, and 3v4 through the retake won't be easy. But Let Them Fly is going to equalize this one, and now Beat Rash going to push out Myth Lunar from this angle. It's all down to Yoko with the Guardian, and the time starting to take away, but nice shot there from my Let Them Fly. Should be enough for the defuse. And Trent Excalibur a retake to show that they are not just ready to take these early fights. They can do everything they need.
Yeah, dangerous round, but one that comes together well. It can be really easy to try and get further into that retake too quickly, but they take their time about it. Wait for the Hawks to be the ones to start making the mistake, and waiting as well for Beat Rash to get that flank activated. All of those things getting up to a phenomenal recovery even after losing the C site.
It wasn't a round that HCC Hawks were supposed to win. So getting the spike down and, getting the kills that they did get, not too bad of a second round of the half. And Zamu is just unreal.
Yeah, opening up with a first shot on the Headhunter. That one's great. Then comes back with a Vandal and says goodbye to yet another defender. The Headhunter on the other side, though, play defense.
Trex just not able to land that shot. Zamu's still going to be able to push forward. Knows the rendezvous can't be too far away, so Trex will not be able to escape. And it's all down to one glitch with a ghost and zero utility. And at least do a little bit of damage here, but a flawless round coming out by the hands of Zamu. Another 4K to add to Lotus. And for the first time in a while, HCC Hawks actually shut down what has been 5 rounds in a row from Trent.
I always thought, 3 was the magic number. A lot of things come in 3s, but apparently it's 4. We've seen so many quad kills this entire map. I cannot believe it. A little bit crazy. Especially going into the back end of the first half with Trent and how they were able to find him. A little swap up. Trent getting a lot more aggressive this time. They're sort of done with Zamu.
Yeah, they don't want to give them these long-range battles, so they want to give themselves a little bit of cover. Flashpoint out, and Zamu's going to be caught. You can see that HCC, they still want to fight for this. They want to try to trade it out, but now you've lost Meow Meow.
So close.
Like, Trax is so far forward. I didn't know, even though they were this far up. Where's little bro going?
Yeah, Wingman is going for a run, but he is off the beaten path. And look at this. As soon as Trent finds some value to one side of the map, I like that Trex is getting aggressive on the other. It's really smart plays or play calls coming out right now from the defensive side, just making sure that they're gaining space where they know they can gain space off the information that is, provided.
Yeah, contact over towards A. You saw all the utility and the bodies being thrown at that position. It just makes sense that there's probably space towards Bound.
Cover going out.
Final destination for the Hawks, though. Not even set in stone. I don't even think they're in position to really go for this. And yeah, Yoko gonna try, but not really much to find, and found nothing as well. 7 rounds to the 9 of the Hawks. They might have stopped the streak, but they haven't stopped Excalibur just yet.
Mathematics.
That is true. It's kind of crazy. Like the wind, you gotta calculate the wind and the bullet drop and the velocity. It's
a lot of physics.
Yeah. You think going into the military that you don't have to be that smart? That for this role, that's not true.
No, definitely not true. And Zamu has been cut out of this map so far, and you like to see that. Trent, one thing that I was worried about for them is if they started to fall behind, do we see any changes? Do we see them adapting? And so far, the answer is yes. They've been adapting in so many different ways as well.
Look at how far up Trent are right now. They're all the way through C, about to be in spawn.
They just haven't been able to get shut down so far, and this is where all the confidence is coming through. Fast flank. Trex doesn't have to do anything. I think HCC are on the case, though. They've turned around. Meow Meow's going to spot it. Yoko leg.
Teleport's ready.
Now
They're
looking to
stuck.
find their way back into this one. Luckily, the TV comes through from Meow Meow, but gonna avoid the up, but won't avoid the raise. Yoko brings this back into a 2v2, but look at the health bars on these two members of HCC.
Might be pretty low, especially for
Yoko has
Yoko, but
1 HP.
they are. Well, I was about to
30
say they
seconds
might
left.
get over towards C, but Trent have booked it. They have put on their running shoes, and they're going to beat the Hawks over to the site.
Yeah,
That's absurd.
I'm surprised. Trent has been all over this. Thresh now gonna look to clear through Waterfall. It's gonna spot the Killjoy, but they still don't know Trex
10
has gotten
seconds
into the
left.
spot. Leg is gonna get some
Spike planted.
timing now to set up on the inside of the C site.
One enemy
Make it a
remains.
little harder for Trex, but nice shot there onto Yoko. A haircut for Astro and Glitch. Gonna find Leg. Watching for Trex like a hawk. Trent Excalibur has cut this lead down to 1 on Lotus Vincent, and they have done it in a very clean manner.
Yeah, I'm impressed. I think that Trent have put together a phenomenal. I mean, second half, yes, but the way that they kind of dominated their way through those last 3 rounds of the first half, I think set them up beautifully for this. I do want to again shout out Zamu, who's 30-12,
Turn out.
and I can't believe this game is over and they have 30 kills.
Placing swarm grenade. Placing swarm grenade.
Oh, it's gonna be a fast one.
You want
Let's
to
see if
play?
fast be hit in our
Play.
future.
This is where the Killjoy can come in handy. You have to watch out for these swarm grenades. Glitch just playing off the contact of the turrets, and here we go. As soon as the turret sees it, the swarm grenades are going to be activated, but Myth is going to use the tailwind to cut this distance up, and Glitch is ready for it. Myth, will you be able to hit the shot? The Stinger in hand turns to the right and decapitates Glitch from that position. Spike's going down right away. You have to be aware of the flank.
All this positioning though from Myth, getting confirmation about where they're coming in from.
Showstopper
That's
misses.
maybe an issue.
Zama's got the
Ooh.
tour de force, and this is a great gun to have in this position. Not going to be anticipating the rest of the players ready for the flank. Aiming power now to push on through behind this paranoia. Caught in the open, not able to land the shots on Zamu, but gets rid of Meow Meow. Tour de force of Trex's now, and Myth loses out. All down to Yoku. Gravity Well is going to at least slow down this defuse, but Trex is ready and waiting. And Trent has brought this all the way back.
We're all tied up, and off the back of another little back and forth between these chambers, which is really interesting to see. As dominant as Zamu has been, Trex continuing to find value where, honestly, I haven't been able to see a way back in. He's been able to do it. I've been really impressed. And, well, the Hawks, they now have to start asking themselves, what has gone wrong and why? Because at one point they were maybe playing a little bit more aggressive than they would typically be doing, and I think just that confidence a little bit getting to them, but that's not been the case in the second half.
Oh, it hasn't at all. Looked like they've cracked the code, Vincent. A lot of it behind players like Trex and like Beat. It is not just down to them.
I have them.
Losing out on gaming power is losing out on your controller, and that is a lot of presence on site that you won't have.
I like that Trex is just playing this a little bit more passively,
Spike planted.
knowing that, yeah, this site's already lost, but the retake is certainly not, especially not with the Rolling Thunder ready to go. And Zamu
can
out in the
even this.
open.
I mean, Zamu's just been giving up so much. So here's the Rolling Thunder. Not going to actually cover the whole site just yet, but it is going to force Meow Meow to look to reaggress, and Beat able to put together yet another double kill in this half. It's leaving Myth all alone. 1v2 now. Trying to play around this information. Aftershock pushes them over the edge, and hunting them down is Glitch. Myth not able to escape. A full turnaround for Trent. Excalibur Blue has brought them not only into a tie game, but now with double digits achieved, it is an advantage for the first time on Lotus.
Picking it up, and honestly, the Hawks, where is the Hawks we saw before? I mean, Zamu's continued to play well. That's not different. is a team diff at the moment. I mean, I hate to put it out there, but Lag having a really rough one. Meow Meow isn't too far behind where Lag is currently at, and where we were really praising Myth and Yoko. They've also really fallen off a cliff.
And ZaMu's doing so much, but ZaMu is also dying quite a bit as well. And if you don't have the support from the rest of your team, it's going to be impossible to win a 3-site map.
Well, here's a chance maybe for Myth to step that up. How's Sheriff and the Blades ready to go?
Up on the smoke, and that is going to be the call for HCC to move. Look at the aggression from Trex again. Trex is pushed all the way through Mound, so you know this isn't going to be a C hit. And now they move back going towards A. Trex looking for a player off the slow rotate. Meow Meow is watching, but turns away at just the wrong time, and an easy pickup there from Trex is going to drop the spike out and allow for the rest just to collapse on this situation. Trex back in, a second one to fall. Trex doing the worst with his operator. Eat Rash also going to chime in for a kill. And HCC, they have fallen apart, Vincent.
I mean, to be honest, they've been falling apart, and this is just them in pieces. 11 rounds now for Trent, Excalibur Blue, and I just can't believe what I'm watching at the moment. Everybody making the right calls, and I mean, it's entirely frustrating for the Hawks if you take space early towards B, and by the time you rotate back, all of Mound is gone. You have nothing to work with. It's suffocating. It's so difficult.
Right there.
They've got to stop Trent from playing so aggressive. They need to stop them from just walking up and taking so much map control.
And on the site pick of HCC, I am very disappointed with the way that this is turning out for them. But in terms of the underdog story, Vincent, I mean, it doesn't get better than this.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. We walk into this and we see what it's been like for Trent the majority of the season, and they're working to make this upset happen.
Teleport's ready.
Rex is going to bring back this round, steal the headhunter. Fishing for a kill through A. Beat Rash is going to reposition, and this has been something that has been used in the past. Do they fully clear it? They actually don't spot it, so Beat Rash, she's able to get away with murder yet again. Double kill. Looking for all three. Yoko trapped in this position, tapping away. Beat just not able to hit these last couple of shots, and finally will do so.
Yeah, okay. Okay, that was a headshot. Yeah.
Yoko was definitely around that corner, but it's all down to one. Meow Meow.
Oh, man.
She is already down to half HP, and Glitch is going to be able to check that tally off. Map point for Trent. Excalibur looking at the upset on the match, or the map choice of HCC.
I want to just go back and mention this was 8-4 at halftime. 8-4. The Hawks have a single round in the second half, and we got to double up. Okay, no, they sold it. They sold it. I thought I let them fly. I was going to pull out a secondary, and to be honest with you, it's been very difficult to contend with for the Hawks, and I think that part of it is that they haven't always had enough of their own, but that's only a small portion of what they've been dealing with. Here they go over towards C. Maybe they can stop Trex, and he will go down.
Now back off this Thresh. They're going to take that C site, but we've seen this before, Vincent, and it's fallen apart. The retakes from Trent have been exceptional.
Planted.
Even down a player, though. I think that does complicate things. The biggest boon, though, is this lockdown.
Zamu's going to make it even harder, so the lockdown's going to be called in. Leg just tucked away is going to catch Beat Rash and shoot them in the back, and this lockdown might be effective, but there's just been too much damage. It seems like HCC have done enough. Lockdown's going to find nothing to detain. Gaming Power starting to walk up through the start cover. Going to be spotted out by the Dizzy. And it's going to put everything onto the shoulders of Glitch. 10 rounds for HCC. They finally cut things down. for Trent. Excalibur with 4 players staying alive. A very good execute over towards C, and they keep things in line for Lotus.
Good news for Trent is there's still a couple of opportunities for them. 2 rounds in order to have this go towards the close as opposed to the overtime. Zamu picking back up the operator, though. And I like the decision-making to just take the fight to Trax because she's been unstoppable there and often not even been fought. Like, has just been alone pushing through Mound. I like that they take that fight, but they're going to go elsewhere. Sticking 5 together.
Early trade. Rash still not going to give up this angle. The Aftershock is going to push back my Myth Luna and Zamu not just able to get a good angle in this one. The Paranoia Beat Rash is in trouble. Where's the swing? Where's the damage? Here it comes. Finally going down. The A site has fallen. It is open for a plant.
You can get a lot of space off of this. Look at how far away any potential retakers are. Aiming Power is the closest, and even that isn't really a good position considering Trex is being 2v1 to the back line.
Trex is being watched. Rightfully so. So many times. Trent and Excalibur have flanked this, and Zamu's going to be ready for it. The operator's going to confirm another kill, down to 2. Glitch also going to be seen. Will find the better of that gunfight. Now looking to bait them out, but as they do, Myth is going to find the kill onto Glitch. Yoko wraps all the way around to check off the Omen. And HCC, they may not be done with Lotus just yet. Possible overtime on the horizon.
Yeah. You know, it's almost like them seeing that 12 up there, and it became real, you know? As soon as they notice, hey, we are about to walk away with a loss on our map, that is a difficult thing to contend with, and oh, they've woken up. Woken up big time.
You want to play? Let's play.
Different look this time, though, for Trent. It's Trex. He's out over towards A with the tour de force in hand.
See anybody to turn things around? It would be Trex with this tour de force, but has to be cautious of Zamu. And look at this. Beat Rash now looking to aggress. Timing, they wrap around and neither one of them spot each other. Beat Rash has slipped the net. And Myth has no idea the Bulldog's going to get a kill. Here comes the rest to hopefully trade it out. They will with minimal damage.
A little bit of a breath of fresh air. That trade been lacking for the Hawks, but off the back of it, they're walking right out onto C. There's just nobody here to stall it out, to even stop this plant. Yoko is putting together.
How's the Rolling Thunder gone?
Shadows traveling.
Tool you may have wanted, Vincent, in this moment. Yoko's going to make this even harder. 3 players for the retake. Glitch fully cautious to walk into this nebula. Dark cover's going to go through, and Glitch just spots it out. The trade is out, and now Zamu's turn. The Headhunter will not hit its mark, but Meow Meow there to keep an advantage over. Leg now shuts down the tour de force of Trexton. It's all onto Gaming Power to clutch up in a 1v3. Gets the first one with the Phantom, looking to swing for the rest. Playing for the dark cover, playing for the defuse. They all spray down in front of them. The classic maybe. No! Meow Meow finds 3. We're going to overtime.
The Hawks waking up right when they were needed. And everybody as well having a bit of a step up from that squad. But Trent, they're going to be kicking themselves. They had the chance to close, and they couldn't pull it over the line. So the Hawks, now, as mentioned, they've been in overtime quite a few times before this semester. This will be their 3rd or 4th course of these first 5 weeks.
My word, Vincent. If I did not expect to go to overtime after the way that Trent Excalibur commanded the second half, but HCC have found their way back, and Zamu is back on the defensive side with this operator in hand. It seems like Trent are expecting some kind of aggression, but Nothing has been seen, and Zamu's gonna get out of there.
Perfect. Exactly the exit strategy as well was required for the Hawks. And they are back on the defense now. Made the adjustments that have been required. It's the last couple of rounds of the half where they ready to close things up. Rotation now for Trent. They head back over towards A. They lost the early fight at C, and so dark cover in place.
Mike's just going to spot one to Dizzy, thrown up into the air, running at him. Beat Rash just not able to land those shots and turn around. Truly Dizzy. Leg's going to get two. HCC with numbers now, ready to defend the site, denied the plant, and they've done so almost flawlessly, only losing the one so far. Trexta,
30 seconds left.
handle in hand, rendezvous not placed down, opting to swing it on out, and the timing, doesn't take the shot. Leg, though, brings him down to 60. They still don't know, and Trex is going to walk on through, grabs the spike. Everybody is here, so the job is not done just yet, but has no idea Yoko's up top, and HCC will take back their lead in overtime.
Switching sides. Match point.
I had no idea that we were going to be seeing such an electrifying game. But Hawks, they have pulled it back, and respect for doing so. But now they're back towards the attack. This is where they found their biggest struggles. And part of the reason it was such a struggle was Trex, who had an op for a moment, but sold it back. Honestly, I would have loved to see her commit to that. Bet on yourself. That's the confidence that they need.
In this moment, Trex just not feeling that chance that they will win this. Zamu, that's their 40th kill of the match. Looking for even more. This gaming power has to be careful not to lose their life. I like the call to play patiently, play defensively, and play for the retake.
Just get back in there with the rest of your team instead of overstaying your welcome. The post plant is set, and so much space.
Hunting.
I'm too far.
Another kill for Zamu. The rest at Waterfall, picking away. It's 4 for Zamu. Brings out the tour de force, ready to put him in the dirt. It's only down to beat Ration. I think that Zamu knows exactly where to go on the mound for the ace. It's only right that Zamu puts it away. 5 kills in round 26. Compositions is going to be the best call for determining the outcome of this game. And we do see that Myth Lunar is actually swapping to the controller for this map, and so is Leg. A triple controller.
I think, yeah. I was just hearing that there was a jet. It was actually the jet, but yeah, that would have been a bit wild. It would have been a bit crazy. I also think what's kind of crazy, well, crazy is not the right word, but Yoko on the fade, that's something I didn't expect. I think the Sova is more typical, and the lack of a KO as well on anyone. All of those things are question marks for me, but I think it's unsurprising to me to see Trex continuing to play on this chamber, right?
No,
we saw how effective that could be, and to continue it makes sense.
And to change the Zamu over towards this Viper, a very different role to play rather than that chamber who just has to focus on, getting those kills, finding those opening duels, and kind of dominating your opponents. Viper is a member that you almost need to see stay towards the end of these rounds, especially on the attacking side of Breeze. And it kind of has me a little bit worried because Zamu was very rarely seen towards the end of rounds. Very early on, you'd see Zamu lose their life as that chamber. So we're going to have to see a very different playstyle from this player.
Yeah, I think there is some concern there, for sure. It's a matter of, well, if Zamu can just take the fights and win them, I guess it doesn't matter. But if they're going down, even if they get 1 to 2 kills and then go down, that's still, I wouldn't say a net loss for the defensive side, but it's still a problem, especially when it comes to the defense. But here we go. Let's jump into the action. Trent on the attacking side. They poked a little bit over towards 2, but they didn't find anything worth talking about. So they'll spread back out with some mid presence, and the majority of the team heading back towards the B site where Cypher is set up has the utility in place. It's a double setup towards B. On a pissed around. I guess that's a little more common, but 2 here early isn't so common.
Something to note, too, the defensive sides of both of these teams were the ones that looked a lot more put together from either team. So for HCC to start this on defense, maybe a chance to start their lead, but Beat Rash is going to be spotted leg. A couple of missed shots here, but still, nobody is looking at leg. They let the Silva go undetected, and that's going to be the spike down in such a peculiar spot.
A little bit of a concerning one, but Yoku's timing is going to be incredible here.
Oh, Rex has no idea, and this Sheriff is going to rain the law down through the connector into B, and that's going to put Glitch in a near unwinnable situation. Going to have to go absolutely crazy here with this classic Vincent, and now that Meow Meow has jumped for the spot there, I don't think this is going to be possible. 13 seconds, so it's got to be now for Glitch. Nothing to come out of it.
A lack of a situational awareness for Trent, right? I mean, listen, there is a silencer on the Ghost. It is sometimes hard to really pinpoint where it's coming from, but there was a lot of shots that Lag put down range. A lot of whiffs, though, too, but a lot of shots. And the fact that they don't get checked, I think partially due to Trent not expecting a second player there, but you have to be a bit more aware. That's the reality. And so they find themselves in a pretty tough scenario because of that, with Lag pulling a lot of attention after the second contact and getting a couple of kills that they did.
Heading up
There.
tunnel. Yoku has got the information and gonna play on a one-way angle with the Sheriff in hand. Do they check this? They'll swing it. The Sheriff, a couple missed shots. The Classics are going to be able to right-click them to the grave. And opening pick for Trent now. Quickly traded out. And Meow Meow is going to make this 4v3.
A lot of space for Trent to work with, at least, there through the tunnel, but the Hawks are fully aware of the position and are handling it as you would expect.
You know how Zamu, or how good Zamu can be with this martial out. Shots just whiffing a little bit. Beat Rash living on 10 HP. This fight's going to force Beat Rash out into the open, and Glitch is actually going to beat out Zamu with the Classic at range. So a 2 versus 3. Glitch is going to drop the Cyber Cage to hopefully cover their tracks, but now Beat Rash has gone down, and they know exactly where Glitch is. The players can just collapse on his position, or on her position. A very quick 2-0 start for HCC, losing the 2 members.
Not that quick. I'm a little concerned. That shouldn't have been quite so difficult for the Hawks. They had all the knowledge of the information and maybe allowed Trent a couple more opportunities than I would have liked to see, but, you know, they did finish it off at the end of the day.
That goes there.
There'll be a gun round upcoming, and it's very much the gun round. This is no bonus for the Hawks. They're invested. They're invested big. There's only one player who's not got a big weapon, and that is one player has a Ghost.
Mid. Lab burst. The great escape.
There's just no way that was the intention.
No. A little bit of a misclick. And an and that's all the utility gun from the Jets, so Myth is going to have to bet on the guns.
Only this range, and with a Guardian, honestly, pretty good bet. How one-dimensional this attack is, though, for Trent. They are all in one area, only now starting to decide maybe this isn't the right game plan for them, but not that it's been a problem. They have given up a bunch of map control. They're going to have to take some time to re-clear, and with 45 seconds left, they're going to have to do it pretty quickly.
Fortunately enough for Trent, HCC doesn't have the same tendencies to get aggressive on their defensive side, so they won't be met with contact. This is going to be a very comfortable rotation over towards B, where they just have one tripwire and one camera to worry about. The 2 members that were at B are still going to possibly have a chance at stopping this one, but it is going to have to be from range through mid. So the rotation's back in. Meow Meow going to look to cut this one off. The spike goes down, but Meow Meow she'll open up with a pick. Quickly traded out by I Let Them Fly. Beat Rash working this flank is going to be caught by Zamu. Ghost going to better the kill in that scenario. And now for the retake with numbers. No ultimates for HCC. It's too early for that, but they should feel good with this one. Let Them Fly still looking to put the Sheriff to work, but now they know, and looks like they're going to look to clear this angle. Swinging with the Vandal. Not going to cut him down just yet, but the rotations, the retake still getting worked on. Trex, the only one alive. Luker heads up play to turn around and watch it with the Guardian. Time for the defuse. 1 second, 1.5 seconds left. HCC go 3-0 up.
Down to the wire, but I like that the Hawks were just taking their time. They were methodical about that, tossing some utility. They had first the Fade had some util coming back towards the back of the site there, and once they isolated each of the fights, they collapsed. It was so difficult for Trent to even find a trade frag, much less anything further. It's just a matter of if they won the fights, and if they didn't, well, game over. Set up the same way. Trent. This is something I think that was a pretty big weakness for Trent on their attack for Lotus as well, CMoore, is that they do play in a death ball.
They don't really set up in too many defaults. Got to see that on Lotus, but it did work out for them sometimes. Myth, though, making it even more difficult with a lot of these First Bloods. Vandal this time instead of the Guardian. It's going to pay off. Yoko and Leg starting to combine for 2 through mid, and Trent have been destroyed in this round. Just a Thrifty, so it's not the most surprising deal, but not a whole lot to take away from if you're Trent.
I was vibing. I was jamming. I love the music. Fantastic. I know it's been here forever.
They always crush it. It's been a while since it came out, but they always crush it.
Yeah. Anyway, my fandom aside, 4-0 scoreline. Walking into this one, I Let Them Fly is going to pull out the Blade Storm. Just going to keep the econ a little bit better. Only has a shorty in hand. Had the opportunity to, get a little bit more money spent the last round and maybe pull something off. It didn't work out, but it's okay.
Very much
this is a position they have not actually taken a lot of space in before. So take up some space here in elbow.
Trent, these early rounds might not work in their favor, but don't just do one thing all the time. Down to 3 knives for Let Them Fly. That's not going to stop them. They're still walking up. But look at this call for Yoko. Start working in through mid. Leg going to be spotted. Yoko there for the trade. And normal damage caused. Yoko and Zamu actually open up with 2. And Trex has the operator to catch Meow Meow. That's going to be the Cypher utility. Gone at B. Here comes the wall for the cross. Yoko might look to walk on through, just listening for this plant, and yeah, Yoko's gonna shut that down.
Last player standing.
Zamu was on the flank the whole time. Trax has so many angles to try and work with here. Good decision to rendezvous out of the way, but
seconds left.
Trent, they had everything going right. The early picks, and it all comes to fruition towards the B site, but Yoko ends it all just walking through the toxic screen.
Trax just wants to carry this operator into the next round. It looks like they will have that opportunity, but I mean, what could have been inside of this round? Potential for Trex, or for Trent. Just a masterful play from Yoko and Zamu to find these opportunities and to really catch some of these, catch some of these individuals for Trent. Unexpected. And a lot of this will come down to a player that we couldn't stop talking about back in map 1, keeping Trent above water. Beat Rash has not really been here on Breeze. 0-5 start to this map. A player that I wasn't expecting to say has to pick it up for this team to potentially turn it around.
Yeah, it's still very early, but it doesn't feel great when you're seeing that, especially with how dominant they were in some of those rounds back on Lotus. But either way, oh, a shot! Let them fly.
GC down a player. This is something that Trent haven't really dealt with just yet. Meow Meow is going to actually catch it, let him fly in the Ripwire too for Meow Meow, and Myth is just blocking them all off. So lovely tag team out of HCC has stumped them. And take a look at the map control now from Yoku. The full flank quickly starting to come to fruition. Zamu playing through elbow. Glitch is so unsuspecting of this situation, and Trix is going to be caught off guard. All down to Glitch. He's going to be able to catch out one. Knows where Yoko is. It's 2 for Glitch. Glitch brings it back. I might be ready to eat my words, Vincent. Love this call for the neural theft. Is going to show exactly where Myth Lunar is, and now Glitch can start working into this site for the 1v4 clutch. Glitch, a 1v1. Lunar has repositioned all the way around. Glitch is going to go for the kill. Spots the head, and Glitch. A 1v4 for Trent to finally put a round on the board.
I thought it was done. I thought it was over, but Glitch, they've done it. And just such a brutal way for the Hawks as well. They just took 1v1 after 1v1. Mistakes were made. And gotta just give the credit over to Glitch, who, using all of the tools at their disposal, whether that be the cages, neural theft,
this goes here.
Everything was there. Just getting the first little information there on elbow, and then isolating one after another. The Hawks will feel that one. They'll feel it probably for the entirety of the rest of this map. Mistakes were indeed made.
Another round that HCC Hawks are going to walk away from and think, man, we should have won that.
There's not checking. I let them fly. Doesn't check for Myth in the corner. All the way through, and
another easy escape with the tailwinds.
And I think the worst part about that is that there was an owl drone early on, and they still think, Trent still think that Myth is here.
Well, Trex is going to be able to trade it finally with the Tour de Force. Trex has always been available for the retrade, but look at this from Zamu. Ooh. Lovely sonar is going to give it all away, and Zamu sprays down, denies the spike plants, leaving Trent Excalibur in a 2 versus 4. They have ultimates to work with. The Tour de Force is still active, but now the neural theft is giving away the positions. Beat Rash is stuck out in the open. It's all down to Trex with this ultimate to make some magic happen once again for Trent. If HCC Hawks have learned anything from the last round, you can already see the passive play to not give any picks away for free.
I mean, whoever's leading in this Hawk squad, they are yelling, "Don't peek!" right now. Understandably so. The confirmation. Honestly, I don't even think it's worth it to hunt Trent down. Like, Trex has a Tour de Force. That didn't come into the next round. I don't know what weaponry they have otherwise, but doesn't matter. They have none. It'll be the respawn. Trent picking up a massive win off the back of Glitch, doing the impossible, a 1v4 clutch, but it's the next for the Hawks.
It is. Rent-free in the minds of Trent Excalibur on Breeze. A team that, you know, I highlighted at the start. When you look at the map set and you see Breeze coming in as the map choice of this team, you expect them to have a strategy and idea. I don't really think I have seen anything too deep from this team when it comes down to breaking through HCC Hawks' defense. It has been very one-dimensional attacks to these sites.
Yeah. They have a kind of a start to the plan, right? Especially knowing what bit of utility they want to put together, but the second part of that isn't there.
If anything goes wrong, they don't know what to change up, and a lot of the time when it does, lead astray. It's off of these first bloods. Luckily, Trex is going to be in a perfect position to catch ZhaMu rotating.
Yeah. Trex might be the one to find the victory here in this one, especially with the way that they can start to cut things off. Everybody grouped up for elbow. The A site, obviously unknown to Trent, but open for the moment.
Trex is going to find another into the round with a Vandal recovered.
There.
Leg to fall there.
30 seconds left.
Now you know the middle map has been breached by this team. But again, Trent, they're all grouped up here. They're going to rotate this to A. They're looking at
play.
Yoko. Maybe shut this one down.
Spike
Escapes with a
down
kill.
A.
Now looking for the Haunt to get a little bit more information, but Gaming Power is taken to the
10
skies, and that's
seconds
opened up an opportunity for Beat Rush to bring this into a 3v2. Plant goes down. Myth looking to beat them out on some of these angles, but now they've given it away. The shot still hit. It's a 2v2, and take a look at this. They're going to hit this one together.
Last player
Split.
standing.
All the attention over towards Myth, but Trex isn't going to bait for this one. Myth not going to check the corner, but still brings this into a 1v1. Trex so low on health. Myth full in both armor and HP. Rotations
They're
around.
not gonna
Trex has
know.
gone unaware from this one. And Myth wasn't ready for the fight. Trex with a 4K. Another heroic moment for Trent.
And there we go. It's one after another. Somebody has to pick up the pieces often for Trent, but man, when they do, is it beautiful to see. Trex, outstanding start, finding that opening out towards mid. And again, whoever made the mid-round call there for Trent, oh, I love it. Getting the idea, especially after catching one of the rotations from mid up towards Nest. They find themselves with an open A site. A bit dicey towards the end, but the round win is all that matters as the Blade Storm gets activated. The Hawks this time. Stick around. Currently have those blades posted out to the A site. Mid control up for Trent, Excalibur Blue.
Are going to break into A through these gates. No split.
Haven't really seen them here before.
No, it's not going to be a split either. It's just all in for this moment. Myth just jumping and tapping here with these plays. Nothing's going to land just yet. Still has 4 knives, and that recon is giving away all the information. ZhaMu traded into a 4 versus 4, and no progression into A made by Trent just yet.
Yeah, but now a bladeless Myth.
Look at
Less.
Yoko. Yoko's going to be able to possibly find a little bit more here, but the shot's just not hitting. I like this call from Yoko to just disengage from it. Not give up your life.
Important, to try and take advantage of that position. Knew they had a timing, but when it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Leg. Oh, almost a chance for Trent there,
30
but
seconds
Leg
left.
gets away.
It's another lucky to be living moment.
Where do you go if you're Trent at this point?
Well, they've seen what they perceive to be 3 people essentially towards the B site, so the adjustment back towards A does make a lot of sense, but they've got a Nightfall to contend with. Not a lot of time left either on the clock.
They're just going to use it right away, deafening these players of Trent as they rotate on to get the spike down. Myth is going to take Glitch out of the equation. It's all down to 3 members for Trent, and even 3 on 3, but the spike planted may give them an edge here. Beat spotted, low on health, still alive somehow. Myth is going to make it. Not the case. They're all down to I let them fly. They have the time in their favor, but not the information. Yoko's just going to swing it while Myth is sticking to the fuse, and fairly easy retake there from Hawks, losing out on members, but always felt like they were in control.
Yeah, I think the Nightfall actually was a great call from Yoko and played it patiently as well, utilizing all the utility to its best. Only that, those Prowlers late into the round, giving confirmation on a couple of the locations they already had puzzled out. 7-2, that's confirmation of Hawks picking up their half victory. So we saw last map, that is a guarantee of nothing.
Possibly even less than nothing.
Here we go again. This time it's a more standard look. Little split
Almost
towards
lost a
A.
barrel. Power takes so much damage there, Vincent. Myth is just waiting for somebody to walk out as they have, and unfortunately, shot doesn't hit this time.
It's going to stick around, though. Still has that tailwind. It's been really the saving grace for them in this position time and time again.
Oh, fly. Lucky to live, but they go back for seconds, and that's where they're going to lose their life. This time, Trent, not so much of a death ball, very spread out as they're rotating this one back to B. The camera's going to spot it. That is going to cause some hesitation in the execute from Trent Excalibur, and rightfully so. Yoko makes it a 5v3. Nowhere to go. Not a lot of time to make anything happen.
I mean, the issue is that they were so disjointed to begin with. Once the spike is seen over here at B, they want to rotate out, but now realizing that's really not an option anymore. They'll group back up. The final member joining the fray for Trent. Hunter Siri, to be fair, on that Sova.
Cage triggered.
Now look at this one. 13 seconds left.
10 seconds left.
Yoko
Here.
That's the spike.
off that spike. Glitch is looking to make a play to take some of these guns out of their hands, but will it even really matter with the money that has been acquired by HCC? It doesn't seem like it's so. Trex carrying a Vandal into the next round. Not a bad pickup. But it's 8 rounds for HCC Hawks, Vincent. They have a 6-round lead heading into the last 2 of this half. And almost a similar scoreline that we were in back on Lotus. And Trent were able to put 3 rounds together to close out this half. 2 rounds from what we've gained in knowledge from that first map. They end this with the last 2 rounds going their way. It is not a good place to stop this half. They've brought it back before.
That's true, but there's 2 things that are very different for this map than the last. The first of which is that the Hawks aren't currently reliant on one player going incredibly crazy. But Trent still are.
And Myth and Yoko have been the ones to yet again reapply the pressure that we saw early on back on Lotus, this time leading Breeze together. In the same sense, Tripwire is going to be caught there. Yoko now has full reign of this elbow with the next Prowler going through. Yoko just still getting the information, still keeping Trent at arm's length from reaching the site.
Tag down to 1 HP, but the trade of the information and removing some of the confirmation of that utility, Trent, well worth its weight in gold.
I must wait a moment.
Still grouped up. Still Trent are so cramped at the moment. Look at how far forward everyone is.
Look at all the information the Hawks have. They know this isn't an A hit. They know exactly where Trent are. They're stuck. And the Hawks are ready to play their trap card. Unfortunately, Zamu not able to land those shots, and this is turned all the way around leg. Luckily going to stop it. Trade in, and it's only 13 seconds. Yoko has still gone unnoticed.
I mean, they're looking for them.
They are, and Glitch is going to be able to get that, but that's all Glitch is going to find because this round is too far gone.
If that's the problem, Glitch so hyper-focused on Yoko's possible position that you kind of lose sight of what's really important, and that's getting the spike down. Everybody was just hoping that they'd be given something, and when given nothing, there was really no plan to be on paper, at least no plan to execute.
No way. Gonna get a double op
Why not?
into a possible double op. No, I let them fly. Drops the operator for Trex and pulls. It gets a Vandal bot for them, but
If there's a map to double op on, this is it.
Get out of my way.
the Blade Storm is actually going to be
You
called
want to
from the
play?
Hawks
Let's play.
early on. Even with this advantage, this is going to be a 2 to force on the side of Trent, alongside the operator that they bought into it.
The Viper's Pit out towards the A site, locking down that area, allowing for rotations already.
Yoko has started with the pick with this operator. Still has beat, almost dead to rights, but the shot's going to whiff, and That's going to be an escape now for Trent to play off of. The Hunter's Fury called in from leg. He knows exactly where to shoot these arrows, but nothing is going to land. That's going to be a chunky one. Chipping away at Trent Excalibur slowly. A Hunter's Fury called the other way around. It doesn't seem like they're finding the same value.
Just a little tag on the Myth. But at this point, that is not equivalent, not in the slightest. These ops, they're locking down the angles, but they aren't hitting the shots.
30 seconds left.
And look at this play from Myth. Still tucked away, still unaware. Not going to be ready for it, though, with the gun unscoped. Not able to get the operator in time. Back into the play. Meow Meow.
One enemy remaining.
Takes Glitch off the site. Gaming Power going to be caught rotating through mid by Zamu, and it's going to be all into the shoulders once again of Trex in a 1 versus 4, breaking through with the tour de force, but only with 5 seconds left. There's no time to plant. A 10-2 half for HCC. After what was such a back and forth Lotus, you might have thought you're going to get the same show here on Breeze, but it is not the case.
No, it has not been, and it's all been, well, all is maybe a strong way to put that, but it really has been off the back of Trent not adjusting in this second map. We saw them make some good adjustments on their defensive side on Lotus, but they were getting caught off every single time by staying so grouped up. And it's really interesting as well how grouped up they wanted to play on their attack, considering they understand, they know what they're doing with regards to map control because they were doing it so well on the defense of Lotus.
Now for the tough part, it seems like for the Hawks, it's their attacking side that fell apart quickly. Back on Lotus. They're hoping to see if they can put this one away quickly with this pistol going their way. Possibility, but I Let Them Fly has other options for this. So the Sheriff's going to open up with the first blood. Zamu quick to trade it out.
Cage triggered.
To a 4v4, and I'd like to see HCC kind of wait for this flank from Yoko to actually make some presence.
Same time, they can also just wait to get confirmation about where all these players are located. And yeah, Yoko's cleared it out. Yoko knows everybody's rotated to B, and so the call is go back A. For the Hawks, they're going to find nobody here, nothing on this site. And so Trent, they get a little bit over ambitious, over rotate, and find themselves into a retake with a 4-on-4.
Not going to be easy without the utility already set up. Trex is going to be the first one down. Zamu wasn't expecting that swing, but still going to do a considerable amount of damage. Flank coming in as well from Beat Rash, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be all the way around. They're going to go up the rope, make a lot of noise, and Yoko is waiting in a corner. Easy cleanups coming out from HCC as Trent get cut down one by one. And this retake out into a 2 versus 4. Not a lot more to play with inside of this pistol round. Just has to go to the guns, and Glitch may have just brought this one back. They're going to fight their way through, but Yoko has repositioned, and it's going to pay off. 1v1. No time, Vincent. Everybody dies, and the round goes to HCC.
Yoko is just the MVP of that round, big time. They did such a great job just catching the timings and hearing the rotations. Here's the first rotation, starts to get a little bit interested and maybe a bit suspicious. And when the confirmation comes through that everybody has made their way off of A, they just call for the rotates. Hey, y'all, we have nobody here. And then closes it out with a couple of nice shots. Coming in from the flank, from double door. It's all coming up Yoko.
I love that call. All coming up Yoko in this round. Now a chance to put it away. Zamu is going to lead the charge to B. The tripwire still active, but Myth is going to go up and over onto the site with the up trap tailwind and looking to catch Glitch on the exit with the Spectre. An easy cleanup for 2 to open up this B site for the Spike. He gets stuck in the ground.
What trip, buddy? Myth doesn't know about it. Not a clue.
When you can fly. Who worries about a tripwire?
That's right. Gotta put those up in the air if you want to catch Myth.
Deal with the Spectre. To be better at range. There is no chance for Trent to win this out. HCC Hawks going up to match point on Breeze with a very convincing map so far.
standing.
A lot different than what we saw back on map 1, Vincent, and I am impressed. The way that some of these players have turned it around. It's not just the Zamu show anymore, and
Match point.
it's not like Zamu has been having a bad game. It's just he doesn't have to have an over-the-top game.
It's a bit wild when you compare and contrast what we saw in Lotus and like what it took Zamu doing for HCC to win, and now what we're looking at here. But I think it's fair to say when you see a more complete picture of what these Hawks actually are like, I think they are showing why they are currently undefeated. We run it back. The Hawks, they're going to keep it simple, and I don't blame them. They head out, find themselves a position, and that is just not going to do it.
This is it. The Outlaws out 4. I let them fly. 2 shots. Going to confirm a kill into Zamu, but look at the answer back. It's 2 between Myth and Lunar, or Myth, Lunar, and Leg.
Spike
And
planted.
Trent have been shut down once again when it matters the most. The Hawks taking flight on Breeze, and it doesn't seem like they're ready to touch down
player
just
standing.
yet. It's all up to Trex. 10 HP in a dream in a 1v4 with this Spike. Already down for quite a long time.
Teleport's ready.
Seems like it is only a matter of time, Vincent, before this one goes out of the realm of possibility for Trex. And as they turn the corner, leads to kill there onto Leg. A consolation towards the end, but this is all done. It is over. HCC Hawks on their way to a 5-0 record here at NECC, and Meow Meow's going to deliver it. Last kill onto Trex makes a 13-2 win on Breeze and a 2-0 for the night.
Yeah, I think that there's 2 things that really, I think, showing how impressive HCC were on that second map. The first is